Welcome to Wisdom Reel, a channel where you can find motivation and inspiration through quotes, anecdotes, and short stories. In this video, we delve into a collection of insightful quotes that encapsulate Elon Musk's wisdom on success. Join us on this journey as we explore the profound insights of Elon Musk, discovering the keys to unlocking success, embracing innovation, and pushing the boundaries of what is possible. Always take the position that you are to some degree wrong, and your goal is to be less wrong over time. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. If you are not failing, you are not trying hard enough. Really pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. Hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket, as long as you control what happens to that basket. You get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. I don't believe in process. In fact, when I interview a potential employee and he or she says that it's all about the process, I see that as a bad sign. Process becomes a substitute for thinking. You're encouraged to behave like a little gear in a complex machine. Frankly, it allows you to keep people who aren't that smart, who aren't that creative. If somebody is doing something that is useful to the rest of society, I think that's a good thing. It doesn't have to change the world. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. I've actually not read any books on time management. When Henry Ford made cheap, reliable cars, people said, "Nah, what's wrong with a horse?" That was a huge bet he made, and it worked. It's very important to like the people you work with. Otherwise, life and your job is going to be quite miserable. Don't delude yourself into thinking something's working when it's not, or you're going to get fixated on a bad solution. Take risks now, and to do something bold. You won't regret it. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. If you need inspiring words, don't do it. I always have optimism, but I'm realistic. It was not with the expectation of great success that I started Tesla or SpaceX. It's just that I thought they were important enough to do anyway. Work hard, like every waking hour. That's the thing I would say if you are particularly starting a company. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. You want to be extra rigorous about making the best possible thing you can. Find everything that's wrong with it and fix it. Seek negative feedback, particularly from friends. Talent is extremely important. It's like a sports team. The team that has the best individual player will often win, but then there's a multiplier from how those players work together and the strategy they employ. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. There need to be reasons to get up in the morning. Life can't just be about solving problems. Otherwise, what's the point? What is education? You're basically downloading data and algorithms into your brain, and it's actually amazingly bad in conventional education. It shouldn't be like this huge chore. The more you can gamify the process of learning, the better. Good ideas are always crazy until they are not. Frankly, I think most people can learn a lot more than they think they can. They sell themselves short without trying. What makes innovative thinking happen? I think it's really a mindset. You have to decide. Constantly seek criticism. A well-thought-out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. Life is too short for long-term grudges. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. I think it's important to reason from first principles rather than by analogy. The normal way we conduct our lives is we reason by analogy. We are doing this because it's like something else that was done, or it is like what other people are doing. With first principles, you boil things down to the most fundamental truths and then reason up from there. Stop being patient and start asking yourself, how do I accomplish my 10-year plan in 6 months? You will probably fail, but you will be a lot further ahead of the person who simply accepted it was going to take 10 years. Don't be afraid of new arenas. I think this needs to be done, and I don't see anyone else doing it. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100-hour weeks every week. This improves the odds of success. Don't confuse schooling with education. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Focus on signal over noise. Don't waste time on stuff that doesn't actually make things better. When you struggle with a problem, that's when you understand it. Starting a business is not for everyone. Starting a business, I'd say, number 1 is have a high pain threshold. I feel fear quite strongly. It's not as though I just have the absence of fear. I feel it quite strongly. But there are times when something is important enough, you believe in it enough, that you do it in spite of the fear. It is important to view knowledge as sort of a semantic tree. Make sure you understand the fundamental principles, that is the trunk and big branches, before you get into the leaves/details, or there is nothing for them to hang on to. One of the really tough things is figuring out what questions to ask. Once you figure out the question, then the answer is relatively easy. I don't need a source of strength. Quitting is not in my nature, and I don't care about optimism or pessimism. We're gonna get it done. Hope you found these quotes inspiring and motivating. If so, please like the video and give us a subscribe. It is easy to do, and it shows us that we are building helpful content for people like you. What are your favorite quotes from this clip? Please let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Until next time.